What's up?
Again we meet.
Again and always.
Again you will suffer.
Name's Emphasis, and I'm a professional circle drawer. So,
Previously.
the mask also deserved the honor of being forgotten by me.
Let's give your line art that art school style shading.
Sounds intriguing. Back to fans What? Okay, before this something creeps into the drawing, I'll get started on my least favorite part. In the comments, someone named Ian pointed out 4 things I should go over, for which I appreciated. The first one is about the foot. Thinking about how a person actually runs in real life, the position of the foot does look strange, so that definitely needs fixing. The second one is about the right leg. Well, technically it's the left one, but whatever. Here I can't really agree, and I've got 3 reasons for that. The action, the angle, and the pose. The action suggests a fully bent leg, because of a downward strike while running. And because of the angle, the shin could easily be hidden behind the overleg. And lastly, I based post on a reference in the first part, so a lot of that carried over here, since honestly I'm not that great at making points from scratch. At least for now. Anyway, the third point is about the hand, and I do agree with that one, so I'll make some corrections there. And the last one is about the thigh. The part also comes from the original reference, so I don't really see a reason to change it. Now that the problems are fixed, let's move on to the part I'm most interested in. So, for most of you who actually watch my stuff, you're probably thinking, wait, how the hell are you gonna draw a background when all you've ever done is characters? And to that I say,
I haven't got a fucking clue.
Yep. This is the case when it's time to start trying to use the accumulated experience, and then pull something new out of my head, based on the things I've seen. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to nail it on the first try, but who cares? Well, I care. I'm not one of those people who can watch a single tutorial and suddenly became a pro, so I'll have to learn the hard way. Anyway, enough coping, let's get into it. The first thing that came to my mind was to set a horizon point. That's where all the objects will be directed. The second thing is composition. Yeah, I've got some superhero shit, action and all of that, so I need to figure out what the hell happening in this mad universe. The composition will consist of 3 things. The object Miran is slicing through, the aura he's farming, if needed, depending on other factors, and the dash coming from the horizon point. Yeah, I know, I stupidly placed the dash burst in the wrong spot, but you get the idea. So, the rough composition is ready, time to bring it to life. Let's take a quick detour to focus on some details. It's important to understand that the background isn't just about what you want to see, it also has to match what the story demands. Yeah, sounds strange cause you are the writer of your story, but what I mean is that by adding lots of factors that influence the story you want to tell, a picture or any other creative work can end up filled with details you hadn't originally considered or even thought about. Here's what the story is showing us. Once blooming meadows
At the edge of the autumn oak wood, so close to the city, had withered into an ashen wasteland, breathing out the bitter stench of smoke and damp earth. The coming of the eternal night had reshaped the view into something unrecognizable. The soil beneath one's feet was all but swallowed by shadow, and the trees had decayed in a single breath, collapsing to their roots.
This part is important for understanding where the character is, and under what conditions he will be acting. Of course, in my case it probably won't matter much, because, as in many creative works that involve supernatural abilities or something like that, the background often just melts into an unrecognizable mess, turning the whole picture into chaos made of objects of unclear origin. It usually works like this. The more action there is, the harder it is to actually see the environment. Still, context is necessary. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Since the character is extremely fast, I need to show that. I'll draw strokes on the ground pointing toward the horizon to imitate quick movement. Then I'll add something like clouds of dust, dirt, air. Okay, honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just think the end result might look good. This part will also take a lot of time, so I'll do the same thing I did in the previous video.
Enough!
Okay, I got it. Not this time, I guess. So yeah, this is more or less what I ended up with. Not exactly what I had in mind, but in a way it turned out. Let's say it's alright. That said, I can't really call it a finished result, and that's when I got an idea. In a lot of comics, manga, and similar works, characters often have a trail effect to show direction. That way the viewer instantly understands how and where a character is moving. In my case, Miranda's just going in a straight line, so I don't need to come up with anything fancy. I'll just draw a trail from the horizon point straight to the body. Next on the list is the dash burst. The character breaks the sound barrier and I need to show that. Based on watching fighter jets and even gunfire, I figured the best approach here is to use some kind of chaotic ring, bursting outward from the horizon point. Perfect. With most of the background done, it's time to move on to the next equally interesting part. So, here's the idea. The god of light, having shifted to his target hidden behind a thick layer of so-called dark matter, slices through the wall in front of him with a vertical strike of light energy. Out of context it probably sounds pretty weird, but you'll get it once I explain the whole thing. Someday. Hopefully. Anyway, the question is, how do I actually show this? The answer was the most obvious one. Black and white. First I'll define the main shape I'm going to work with. Then the outer form, which will be filled with black. Adding some details. Pretty cool in my opinion. But why should we stop here, right? So I keep saying that I'm not good at coloring, and from some of my videos you probably seen that for yourself. This time, yeah, nothing's changed, but I'll be using black and white tones and at least try to do something with them. I think everyone has those moments in life where you're working on a project, you look at the result, realize something's off, redo it, then see something else is wrong, and the cycle just repeats. Until you either give up entirely or by some miracle stumble onto the right solution. Coloring this piece was exactly one of those cases for me. After repainting it several times, trying to figure out the best way to approach it and how to show what I wanted, the only thing I managed to find was a compromise. The final result wasn't what I originally imagined, so I'll leave it up to you, my friends. If you have any ideas, I'd really appreciate if you share them in the comments, or on my new Discord server, link in the description. And thanks to this person for the idea. Here's what I ended up with, but that's still not the end. Yeah, rocks. What could be better than having random stones, pebbles, leaves, and all sorts of stuff flying at your face right after an action scene to make it feel even more intense? My case is no exception, so I should probably throw in a few objects too. The way I usually draw rocks is like this. First, I sketch out a random shape, then I give it some value from below at the edges, and finally check if there's anything else it needs. For example, shadows, cracks, and so on. The important part is that you also need to show the direction of movement of these objects. I guess it's done. The overall picture doesn't look bad at all, but lack of experience is showing off, I think. Okay, I don't think I have the strength to hold him back any longer.